One time I just moved to a new church there in Gaffney down at Sardis, and so on Monday morning after the first service, I thought, well, I'll get out in the community and see if I can visit a few people and find out their names. So I was driving a little Volkswagen Beetle, and I come flying down the road, and I saw a man standing out in the yard, and I recognized that he had been at church that Sunday. So I just wheeled in the driveway right quick to speak to him, and I ran over his hound dog. So that's how I met Mr. Sprouse, is I ran over his hound dog and killed him with a Volkswagen.
Did he ever forgive you?
Yes, he did. And that same man, a few months later, we were walking down across the cemetery at a funeral, and he knocked me down. And I thought maybe he was trying to get me for running over his dog. He said, look here, preacher. And there was a big copperhead laying right in front of me. If I'd have took one more step, he'd have probably bit me. So not only did he forgive me, but he saved me from getting snake bit. One time we lived right beside a cemetery, and I had two big German shepherds. And one morning there was a black man out there digging a grave, and those two German shepherds went out there and stood right beside the grave, and he was hollering for me. So I went out there, and he said, you get these dogs, I'm afraid they're going to bite me. I said, they're not going to bite you. I said, they don't bite anybody but a stranger. He looked up at me and said, who do you think I is but a stranger? One Easter, I got up on Easter morning and looked, and those same two German shepherds that I was talking about had went out to the cemetery and brought about 20 flowers and put them in the backyard. And we didn't know where they went on whose grave. So I got my son up, and we went out there and picked up those flowers and took them back out there and put them on different graves. We didn't know where they went. So when the people came to church that morning, they said, somebody moved my flowers. I never did tell them that the dogs had picked them up and brought them in my yard, but we never did know which flower went where. We just took them out there and put them on a grave. One Sunday while I was preaching, before the service got underway really good, I had the morning prayer. And I always put my hands on the pulpit area while I was praying with my head bowed. And on this particular Sunday, when I stuck my left hand around there was a wasp nest under there. And about 3 wasps got me on the hand. And I was trying to pray and sling those wasps off at the same time. And I never did let on about it happening, but after the service, a man came up to me and said, what was you waving your hand for when you were praying? I said, Buck, if you'd have kept your eyes shut, you wouldn't have seen that. But it was terrible trying to get those wasps off and still pray at the same time.